Welcome everyone, this is your captain speaking, and welcome to the Ketch 64. I'm your captain, Sumi, or Grizzly.
And I'm your Captain Chloe, or the CC nerd. And welcome aboard. We're experiencing some nice calm waters today, because we're not talking about fandoms really, it's just an introduction episode.
Yeah, we're just talking about who we are. I think we've been wanting to do this for how long? I think months?
For quite a few months, like ever since we were in in school and stuff and we would just talk about fandoms. Like I was sitting there I was making my bed when I was like, yo, you know what? I really want to do this.
Yeah. And I think also being on our friends' podcast with all of our other friends, we were definitely like, oh, we could literally sit around and just talk about fandoms and do this. And was it who brought it up to who?
I think it was you who brought it up to me.
Was it me? Okay.
I think it was you that brought it up.
Because I feel like, because I remember I was like, I think I might have been thinking about it, and I'm like, wow. Yeah, Chloe and I could literally sit around all day just talk about fandoms. Because, I mean, look, I'll be honest with you guys. Before our Monday classes, Chloe and I would meet up, and we would just talk about whatever we just finished watching, whether it was like uh, BNHA, Voltron, whatever we were into at that moment. Even if it was stuff that the other had no idea what it was about, we were like, let's talk about it.
We would just spill the tea. Like if there's any new fandom tea on twitter.com, we would talk about it. It was
Boom.
like anything old, anything new, we would talk about it in terms of just anything in general with fandom. So like you just said why not we make a podcast about it and just talk about it there.
Yeah, and I think we should also mention what fandoms currently we are kind of heavily involved in.
Yes.
You can go first.
Whew, okay. The thing is that I'm always known for being like into like certain fandoms for a certain amount of time. Currently, like for a long time, even though I have not finished the game yet, I'm a huge fan of Persona, of
Mm-hmm.
the Persona series, mainly 3, 4, and 5. Don't need to get into 1 and 2, but I'm mainly into the Persona fandom, and I think like the biggest one right now for me is Critical Role.
Yes, critical,
It's
critical.
it's just a show about a bunch of, and I quote, nerdy ass voice actors who sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons.
That's everything
And
though.
it's such a good show. I would recommend it like if you have something to draw or anything, or if you're just like sitting at home and you want to do something and you want something playing in the background, you could like just watch that show. It's a really fun show, and I've always been a fan of voice actors in general, so was like a godsend for me.
Felt yeah.
So
I think when you mentioned it, because I think we both like freshman year of college, we were both like, hey, we both like. I think you were interested in D&D. I had played
yeah.
it in high school, and then you mentioned you were like, have you watched Critical Role? And I was like, what the hell is a Critical Role? And I looked it up, and I was like, this is legendary.
Yeah, not only that, they started their second campaign like last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it's a fresh new campaign, and also Critical Role is the main reason that I got into Dungeons and Dragons, why I became intrigued in Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I like started to play it, my third eye opened.
Me. Mood.
So yeah, that's like the main stuff that I'm in like currently. I took a little bit of a dabble into like the Devil May Cry fandom,
Hell yeah.
mostly because the fifth game got released in March and everything, and there were like so many memes and stuff about it. And it was a really good game. I watched the Let's Play of it, and I watched the whole Let's Play of it, surprisingly.
Jackpot.
But
Sorry.
yeah,
Sorry. I also just want to say a side note. I love because I know you sent, I think it was you that sent me the walkthrough or like the cutscenes or whatever. I just
Yes.
love how Virgil goes Dante, like that always kills me for some reason. It's just
Dante, I'm trying to stick around,
but I'm dummy thick. Okay, we're not doing this joke. We're not doing this joke. Nope, nope.
We can't do this joke. We're trying to be PG. We're trying to be PG-13 as much as possible.
Right, right.
We're trying to be appropriate. So if, like, say for example, if any like parentals or parents just watch it out of nowhere and stuff, like, you don't want to hear people talking about butt cheeks. So
No.
yeah, we gotta be appropriate. But anyway, that's a tangent.
So I guess should I go now in terms of?
Yeah, you can go.
Oh boy, I've got a lot of fandoms I've been
Just
a part
lay
of.
scroll. Just
Well,
scroll.
Okay, so I guess I'll just say the ones that I was as a currently that I'm in. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yes.
I have to still catch up.
You do.
I've been seeing all of the and retweeting all of. Oh God, I gotta catch up to this show now.
We stand. We stand. Literally. Let's see. I recently got right back into Welcome to Night Vale. All hail the mighty Glow Cloud. Yes, all hail. Which I'm also like, Chloe, you need to get into. I also recently just left. I guess no, not recently. It's been months. The BNHA fandom, the Boku no Hero Academia fandom. Kirishima is best boy. You can fight me on that.
or the MHA fandom.
Yeah, or the My Hero Academia fandom.
Yeah.
What else? True crime fandom I'm in. Creepypasta I'm semi in, I'll be honest. And Critical Role, just like Chloe.
Yes.
But I you know what's funny is like I'm always like, oh, I love anime and manga, but I have not. I think besides BNHA, Jojo, and The Promised Neverland. That's all the anime I've watched this year.
Hold on. Let me give you a nice recommendation that I've been giving for a while. Haikyuu.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to get into that.
Yeah, Haikyuu. I have not heard shit about that fandom.
I haven't. Is there? There's gotta be a fandom. Well, there's a fandom for everything, honestly.
There is a fandom, yes, but when it comes to like discourse, I don't hear any discourse about this fandom.
You would have thought there'd be some discourse in terms of shipping. I mean, at least I would have. I know, especially for like Hitalia, that was like,
yeah,
whoo, bloody.
Oh boy, I was actually thinking about it on the train today.
Oh god. Well, I mean, that is one of the elements of a fandom is shipping culture. I think there's also headcanons that are a thing. Interactions with voice actors or actors in general.
Yeah, or just like content creators in general, because in this like day and age, there's social media, so there's like it's the easiest way to access people like in the creative space and people who work on certain shows, like whether they be cast or crew.
Right,
it's very easy nowadays.
Yeah. Ain't that right, Voltron fandom? Let me stop. That's saving that for the next episode. That's next episode. I think you know what? I think we should talk about let's just talk about shipping briefly. Or why don't we start with shipping? 'Cause that's such a big problem for no reason.
It's become more in like the 2010s, just in general, from like the 2010s, especially like late 2010s, like 2017.
Oh hell yeah.
2019, that has always been a big issue. But it's just been so much more of a big issue now of like who ships who with like who, and not even just that, age gaps.
Mm-hmm.
age gaps are a very slippery slope when it comes to shipping.
Louder for the people in the back.
It's such a slippery slope. I can't do words, but it's such a slippery slope. Like, it's very... It teeters a little bit. So, yeah, it's sometimes it's hard to ship certain things, especially if they get, like, a bad reputation, because
Right.
but the both of us are huge shippers in terms of certain content, but we have our limits when it comes to shipping.
Well, I used to be, like, when I was younger, I used to, like I mentioned before, I think shipping for me personally started, when I was part of the Sonic fandom, which I still am, just not as much anymore. I still draw Sonic characters here and there. But I used to despise Amy Rose and Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, that was my least favorite pairing. And I think it was also I didn't like Amy because she was pink and girly, and I was like, no! But, but now I'm like, ugh, Queen, slay, yes, we stan.
Especially Sonic Boom Amy.
Don't get me. I love that girl so much. We stan. What an icon. But I used to be one of those people who would like be in the comments and be like, Son Amy sucks. It'll never be canon. Because I also shipped Shadow and Amy. I used to ship Silver and Blaze. I still ship Silver and Blaze. They're
That's
so
a
wholesome.
valid ship, honestly.
Because I feel like Silver, I mean, he's not stupid. He's just naive. And Blaze is like mature and like knows her stuff. But yeah, I used to be one of those people where I was like angry if somebody didn't ship, especially like Hitalia. I used to ship I used to ship I used to ship France and UK, and my friends used to ship US UK, and I used to be like, no.
Listen, I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I used to ship US UK, but now I'm just over here like, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could ship this anymore. I don't know. I don't think I can because
aren't they technically brothers?
Yeah, that's like the main thing. I'm like, they're technically brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to be like back in like 2014. I was a huge US UK shipper. No one can fight me on that. But that, like, here's the thing. Shipping wars and starting debates on shipping wars was, like, the main reason I left the Hitalia fandom.
Yeah. Well, I pretty much... I think as I got older, I realized, like... and I think it was also, I didn't ship as much, and I wasn't as active in fandoms, so I didn't really... say who I shipped, and then like My Hero Academia came around, and like I'll be honest, I ship Kiribaku. I will go down with that ship.
Listen, that's one of the ships that I will like literally just go down for. I would literally just go, yeah.
It's funny because I got you into Kiribaku. What's the ship name? Kachiko, you got me into that one. And I'm not, like, I think I've become a little bit more of a Bakugo stan, which I never was in the beginning because I'm not a fan of hothead characters.
And I am.
You're rubbing off on me. Let me be real with you. But...
Listen, you're rubbing off on me. I like good boys. I always like good boys, but now I like good boys.
Well, okay, for starters, Kirishima is such a great boy. He's the heart and the soul, and I love him so much. But, like, even when, like, I personally was like, oh, do people ship anything in this fandom? And I kind of dipped my little piggy toe in, and I was like, oh, wow, there's a lot of, and I didn't even notice it. There were a lot of, like, from what I saw, Bakudeku, actually, there wasn't that much Torudeku. Bakudeku there was, and what's the one, Todoroki and Bakugo? That was a ship too. Totobaku, and I was like, part of me was like, oh, I don't think I can drink this cup of tea. But any Kiribaku stands, and there'd be like one in the distance, like, hey, I got you, buddy, over here. There'd be like any Kajiko shippers, yo, my guy, what's Gucci, you know? But now I don't. I think the only times I express my love for a ship is with friends and not really online.
Yeah, because when you do it online, it's just like like there's always gonna be that random person, that will be like, I don't like this,
Right.
and then just walk away. Like the thing is that I follow quite a few like people who ship Bakugo and Ochako. That's the Kachiko ship.
Hell
That's
yeah.
like I follow a few of them. They're like I remember seeing one time that like one of the fan artists they post on their account they post some cute Kachiko, and someone was literally like, I don't ship this, but this is cute anyway. But like,
Hey, as a side note, everyone, if you see a piece of art, don't say something like, "Oh, I don't ship," or "I disagree with the subject," unless it's like actually like illegal. Then yes, of course, say it. But I like the piece of work. Don't, please.
yeah, here's the thing. Nobody really asked for that opinion. It's very backhanded.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's like what I saw, like a pic. I think I saw it wasn't even like a ship piece. I think it was on Tumblr or Twitter, where it was Josuke and Okoyasu from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it was just them posing, being bros, because what else would they be? And somebody was like, "Oh, I don't ship it, but I like this piece of art," and the artist was like, this isn't a shipping piece. I don't understand." I'm sorry.
Yeah, it kind of baffles my mind, but also another thing to throw subs at the episode that we're doing for our episode 2, um Voltron.
Oh my god. All I'm gonna... Go ahead.
To give you a sneak peek, that is one of the main reasons why that fandom was wild. That fandom was crazy in the show's running.
Ain't that the tea, the whole tea, and nothing but the tea.
Oh my goodness. I never saw anything like it. But yeah, that's like shipping is just sometimes it's a good thing, but a lot of times it sparks a lot of opinions that are not needed.
I agree. I totally agree. It's not even just like opinions, but it's like, well, no, it is opinions, am I saying? But it's also, it brings out that small percentage of a fandom that is like, you know, they're very vocal, and so everyone associates that fandom with that group, and that's not the case. Like, I think a lot of like, and this is aside from shipping, a lot of my friends back in high school, or not a lot of my friends, some of my friends in high school, I'd be like, "Hey, you guys should totally watch Steven Universe," and one of them was like, "Yeah, I'd watch it, but the fandom is total trash," and I'm like, the fandom? Now, mind you, I honestly wasn't as into the fandom as I was when the show had like the whole finale and stuff like that. So I didn't really know what was happening. Then I go on Tumblr and I see some girl was getting bullied because she didn't draw rose quartz properly, or how a storyboard artist quit her job because folks were like, Lapidot, Lapis and Peridot, should be canon and you're queer baiting. Girl, no. I don't think they were queer baiting.
Yeah, I think there was also like another fan artist. I remember it's like completely like different from like Steven Universe, but it has like the same connotation. There was I believe it was a fan artist for Undertale, and they they put there was this person that gave the fan artist cookies, but there were needles instead cookies.
I remember you telling me that. I'm like I think I was talking to my mom about it. I was like, yeah, such and such did this because of this fandom, like some extreme thing. My mom was like, do these people have lives? I'm like, they're just really passionate about the show. And she's like, yeah, I know, but
The better question is, though, how in the hell did those needles not melt? Either that or I'm not a STEM major, so I am not very educated in the world of science.
Someone
So
please answer this question for us.
it probably won't melt, but like you're baking needles into cookies. Do you hear how that sounds?
God, that reminds me of freaking Mirai Nikki. There's like a scene. Is it Mirai Nikki? Wait. No, I think it's Higurashi. There's like a whole side. It's an anime. I think I mentioned it before to you, Chloe. It's like a psychological thriller. It's really good. I highly recommend it. But there's a bit of gore and stuff. But there's like a scene where homeboy gets a rice ball from his friends, and he takes a bite and he gets a needle. And I think what happened was he was paranoid or something about he thought his friends were gonna kill him or something. But he was like, yeah, there was a needle in my rice ball, man. What the hell? And the girls were like, my guy, we didn't. What are you talking about? We didn't do that. But that's what that made me think of is just a needle in a rice ball.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's my hot take on needles and food. Let me not say that. I said it already.
but just yeah, like a lot of people have gone to like very like harmful extents with like certain fandoms. Big one an example of that. I think there have been a few cases for like Persona fans, especially Persona 5.
Oh
not
no.
not to spoil the game or anything, but Goro Ketchy is a complex character.
Is that the one who, spoiler because I already know this, that like betrays the squad?
Yes.
Okay,
he
yeah.
is. But the thing is that there are some people, it's a small percentage, a very small percentage of the fandom, that don't like Akechi. And I heard it that there have been few cases where people would torment the cosplayers
Oh no.
of Akechi, people who cosplayed as him. And I'm like, just because they cosplay a certain character that you don't particularly like doesn't mean you have to harm the person. They're still a person.
Yeah, seriously.
They're not the fictional character. They are they are a person.
That isn't. God, that's so mean.
Yeah, people that's like the main thing of like why I'm like scared sometimes of being in certain fandoms because of things like that, because you never know when like somebody's gonna say or do something
I think
out of control.
Yeah, I think also like there's a common misconception that like a majority of these fans, which I mean it could also be true, that hang on, let me rephrase that. A common misconception that all of these fans, these crazy fans, are like young teens, which is not always the case. There have been cases of fans who are our age, in late 20s, 30s, 40s, etc. Being a fan has no age. I mean, unless it's not safe for work. Looking at you, hentai. Um, but I think like it doesn't. I think it's also about maturity level. You know.
Yeah.
You also have to think to yourself, do I really want to get worked up because this person doesn't ship A, B, C, and D? And a rational person would be like, well, why would I want to harass this person over the internet because they have a different opinion? But an irrational person would spend 30 minutes writing about it. And I don't know. It's just
Honestly, it just feels like a waste of time. There are a lot of things that people can worry about in this society. There's a lot of things people can worry about right now. Instead of like worrying about your favorite character, or your favorite ship being canon.
be like, my name is Jessica and I'm 13 years old, and I think Bakudeku is the most iconic ship. Hey, if you think it's so iconic, why don't you, stop wasting your time harassing folks on the internet and throw out that straw? Or, no, let me not say that. I don't know where I was going with this. I was basically gonna say, instead of worrying about ships, why don't you worry about the turtles in the ocean with their straws?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, shipping exhausts me.
Yeah, like harassment against fellow fans exhausts me.
I think it's funny though sometimes where it's like, I guess the fandom has a consensus of like what not to do in certain, like, I think in I can use an example of like Jojo, or I don't say what not to do, but what's kind of like, I don't know about that one, Chief. When like example is I think there was a picture an artist drew of two of the Joestars as a couple. And the thing is, it was, I think it was, I gotta remember, I'm trying to remember from the top of my head. I think it was, I want to say it was,
it had to be Joseph and Jotaro.
It was those two, yeah. But I also saw another one with Jonathan instead of Joseph.
No.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And like a lot of the comments were like, aren't they like? Isn't Jonathan's like great something grandson? And the artist was like, I still ship it. It's not reality. It's like, but sweaty.
Yeah, and a lot of, I think, honestly, in a lot of the episodes that we're gonna do this there's always going to be the big talk of fiction and reality, because nowadays the lines are kind of getting a little bit blurred.
Well, I don't think, okay, so I think the thing is with this whole fiction isn't reality thing is, fiction is a reflection of reality. It's reality being distorted in some way. Like, I can use the idea of, Batman. Ain't no billionaire in a cape and tights running around New York City saving us from a clown prince. However, I can say that Gotham was based off, literally it's just reverse New York City.
Yeah.
You know, there's inspiration for fiction here and there.
You could also, you could also use, like, Persona as an example, even though, like, some of them, i.e. Persona 5, takes place in Tokyo. It takes place in Tokyo, and there are real, actual locations for that. In Persona 4, there was a rural town that is based off of an actual rural town. So, like, you can take real-life aspects of certain things, but you could just mix it up. Just mash it up a little bit. Besides, you don't normally see people with gray hair or blue hair walking around.
I mean, yeah, naturally gray, unless they're like older, something happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you just a side note, I think, I don't know if I had this talk with you, but I always thought about what's better, stands from JoJo or personas from Personas?
Stands from JoJo because personas can only be used in a certain time or certain place or certain, like, universe. Like, to kind of give it an example, in Persona 3 you can only use it in the 13th hour of the day, quote unquote. In Persona 4 you can use it when you go through a TV. And in Persona 5 you can only use it when you go to the meta app to go to the metaverse. So stands are infinitely better.
Yeah.
Because you can use it at any time.
That's true. That is true. God, I saw something where it was like, what would you rather have? Quirk, Stan? It was the third one. I don't remember the third one. But I'm sorry. I think I would rather have a Stan. Like, Quirks are cool, don't get me wrong, but I would probably prefer... I've mentioned this. I would so love a Stan, and I would name my Stan Folie à Deux, which is the Fall Out Boy album, with a bear on the cover.
I actually called mine. Mine is a mega of Kermit, and it's the stand name is It's Not Easy Being Green.
And wait, what was your stand ability? What'd you make it again?
It's basically a megaphone, so I could just amplify my voice or just make it bass boost at any time.
You imagine us all hanging out with the squad and we're all texting each other. We're like, yo, where are you? Where are you? And then I'm just like, yo, Chloe, use your stand. And you're like, I got you. Yeah. And you just hear that like bass boost everywhere.
And then you just hear from like the ever loving distance.
Yeah.
Especially in New York City.
Oh hell yeah! But that'll make it worse because everyone will know how to respond.
That's true. That's true. And then you can't decipher who it is.
You gotta say something like, well, I think for me, you gotta be like, Jotaro, and I'll scream, Dio, as loud as I can.
Yeah, that's how you find somebody in it. Just yell.
That's gonna be us. We're gonna be in like the library. You're not gonna know where I am, and you're just gonna be Dio, and just I'm just gonna pop out and be like, Dio. um, no, I don't know what my stand ability. I've like been thinking about this. Maybe it's something that has to do with like astral projection, or something.
That's cool.
Because I love spooky things, and like I think my stand would be like a teddy bear, but it's like a giant rabid-looking teddy bear that's completely horrifying and whatever. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just stands are so cool. There's so many abilities they could have.
I mean, shoot, you could literally be there was this meme on Twitter where these two dudes, they're at a bowling alley and one of them is walking up
Oh
and the
yeah.
other one has the bowling ball. And then he points the pins and the other guy bowls, and that is literally, for anybody who does not know Jojo, like, at all, does not know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, that is how stands work.
Look up that meme. Basically, I think it's like stands are a manifestation of like your mental like power, ability, and stuff like that. Which, I mean, I guess maybe my stand would have to be linked to like my anxiety or something. I don't know. I don't really want to mess with that, but my stand would definitely be a little creepy or something.
Yeah,
But,
my own would be linked to memes.
yeah, no, yeah, yours is definitely memes. Or you know what? I think mine would be like linked to like what freaks me out the most. Oh, maybe that could be my stand abilities. I show folks their fears because I'm afraid
That's cool.
that'd be pretty dope. Or my stand, I guess, manifests or turns into whatever you're afraid of the most.
Wow, that's actually really cool.
That'd be super dope. Yeah. Oh my god. Follow you do. Ugh, yes. I gotta draw this now. That's another thing I love about fandoms are like fan characters, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I know like when I was younger and I was in the Sonic fandom, folks were like, ugh, it's so cringy, fan characters. Ugh, no. Disgusting. But now I'm just like seeing them more and I'm like, oh my god, this gives me so much life. Yes. I
Yeah.
see you over there, Onyx the Hedgehog, and whatever your name is, Penelope the Skunk from Happy Tree. That's actually an actual character from Happy Tree Friends.
But yeah, like fan characters are really honestly very fun to create, and it's kind of a way of like creating something or trying to be more like artistic and just have more like writing. I'm a little bit tired, so I'm gonna sound kind of jumbled and everything,
Sis, you're
but
valid.
it's like kind of a way to test, like, say you want to like build up your writing skill or build up like how you want to create characters or your art style. You could like you could just utilize that and just create a fan character, and they're also really fun to make.
Oh hell yeah. I think that's why I like love the Sonic fandom a little more because it's like, you have a plethora of animals and you can adapt them in any way possible. Like,
Yeah.
my main character is Scarlet the hyena, and she's like this short little hyena with bright scarlet hair, and she's like the princess of light or whatever. But and then of course people have their own spins on like hedgehog characters, foxes, bats, whatever.
Yeah.
But I always give props to the artists that make Sonic characters out of birds and sea creatures.
Yeah.
Because that's energy, honestly.
That is energy.
Let's see. I think in terms of fan character, I've been struggling with my My Hero Academia OC. I have no idea in terms of Jojo what all I know is their stand's name is going to be Rat-a-Tat, which is another Fall Out Boy song.
Mm-hmm.
But that's honestly all I've gotten so far. And I don't know if maybe I'll take the teddy bear idea of my stan or whatever, but
yeah, but like that's also another thing. Like I really enjoyed. I think it was around either season 3. I think it was around either season 3 or season 2 where everybody was making fan characters of BNHA.
ain't that the truth, sis?
Everybody was making fan characters for that, and honestly I did my own little kind of spin on it, and it was really nice to like make the character. It's also really cool to make quirks because with quirks you can kind of like you can kind of like just dabble with certain powers and give them strengths and give them weaknesses, because that's like the cool thing about quirks.
Yeah.
Is that like even though they have an abundance of strength, you could have like certain weaknesses with it, and it makes it very like 3-dimensional in a way.
Well, I think that's another thing in terms of like powers in general when it comes to like characters, because I mean you can have like a character like Saitama from One Punch Man who is literally invincible, but I guess his weakness honestly is just he's bored.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's
bored and lazy.
He's like, I don't want to go sicko mode, hold the mode. If I'm gonna beat you in one punch, I need something that's like better than that.
Yeah, because I don't want to beat people with one punch. That's kind of boring.
One punch. Sorry. But I think it's also why I prefer stands over quirks a little more, is because stands can be the most absurd thing. Like apparently, I think in part 5, 6, I think it's part 7, where it's about like racing horses across country, which I'm really excited to read that manga once I finish part 6 with Jolene. But apparently there's a character, I think there's a stand called Hey Ya, like the song that's like, hey ya, like that song.
Yeah, Hey Ya by Outkast.
Yeah, and I think the stand's ability is just being supportive, which honestly, that's the sweetest
valid.
thing.
That's valid.
But I mean, there's also one where it's like if you step in its shadow, in Stardust Crusaders, you become younger.
Oh.
Yeah. Or my boy Rohan from part 4, his stand I think it's Heaven's Gate? I think it's Heaven's Door. He basically turns you into a book and can write on your pages like if he used it on you, Chloe, he could be like, Chloe cannot reference a meme for the next 24 hours, and then like close your book and you return back to normal and you will not be able to recite a meme within 24 hours.
Easy, that feels similar to like Death Note, but instead you don't die.
Alright. Would you rather have the Death Note or Geass from Code Geass?
Wow, that's actually kind of hard.
That's like super hard.
Because with the Death Note, you die. You die.
Period.
Like, you die. Either by heart attack, he has you do something, or I don't know, he has you do something, but, like, nah, I don't know, actually, that's kind of scary. I would probably prefer Geass, because there's a likely chance that he won't kill me. It's 50-50, I don't know, but...
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think it's like with the Death Note, if you start using it, you instantly go to hell when you die. Which I already have VIP, I'm playing. No, I don't. But, And I think for Gias, for Gias, Lelouch can only use it, like, let's say if Lelouch was in this room, which would be everything, and he was like, oh, Sumi, I command you to drink water. He can only use it on me once, period.
Yeah.
But I think it lasts a long time, because there's like a scene where he's talking to, I think it's either C2 or somebody, and he was like, yeah, I want to test how long my Gios works. So he has this girl every day at the same time put a tally mark on, like, a wall or something.
Mm-hmm.
All we know is that junk lasts forever. Or for a long parallelically time.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I only watched one episode of the show.
How dare you?
Let me say something.
Alright, this is the end of the Ketch 64.
Listen, I don't necessarily pride myself, but I consider myself to be one of the laziest anime fans ever known to man.
No, that's valid.
Because I would be like people would be like, yeah, you watch the show, it's really good, and I'll be like, yeah, I do need to watch that show. Cue me on YouTube once again watching a Steve Wilkos compilation.
Me. That was. Go ahead.
So like, yeah, I have a lot of anime to watch. I need to be more woke in the anime community now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, I just haven't. There's so many things. There's so much shit to watch and so little time.
Facts. Well, that was me with Jojo. Like, my anime club in high school, one of my friends came in and was like, oh, we gotta watch an episode of Jojo. And we watched it. And I was like, oh, this is funny. And then she's like, yeah, I highly recommend it. You should totally finish it. Girl, I didn't start or finish it until, like, no, I watched part 1 and 2. I think it was, like, summer break of after freshman year of college. And then I finally caught up with it completely this summer. And I'm happy with that. But I was definitely sitting there watching I'm Chris Hansen from Dateline NBC compilations.
Would you like some milk with those cookies?
That was the best thing ever. I'm sorry, just tangent. Chris Hansen, Savage, we stand.
I love Chris Hansen so much.
Let's see, you know what, there's like so many aspects of fandoms that I genuinely enjoy.
Yeah, same.
That it is kind of crappy for it to be ruined by just like one person or one small group of people.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like, and also it's like, even if you feed into it, you're more than likely to get your butt handed to you, because you'll be harassed or berated by those people. Yeah, or, you know what, in some fandoms you get support, you get backed up, which I think that shows a lot in the people that are involved, that, you know, I think they're just like, yeah, we don't really stand crazy.
Yeah. And I think that's like the thing with any fandom, especially big, really, really big fandoms. You're always gonna find people that don't like this particular thing, that are very, like, there are a lot of flaws that kind of, like, come with the fandom, unfortunately. And, yeah, there's gonna be, like, those people that come in, but it's just that, like, there's always going to be positivity, but with positivity comes negativity, whether it be, like, in big or small amount. But, yeah.
But you know what, another fandom we can both say we're a part of, and proud to be a part of? Carry On. Ha!
Oh my god, okay. But, story time, okay?
Go ahead, sis.
I was at Sumi's house. It was like the day before my birthday, and I started getting into the Harry Potter series.
Hell yeah.
I still have to finish book 2.
Finish it.
But I liked it. I enjoyed it. And then they were like, "Yo, you need to read this book called Carry On. It's Harry Potter, but gayer." So I started to read it. I read a good chunk of this book. I read it the night I came home, but then I read the majority of it the next day, which was my birthday. I spent the entire day reading a good chunk of that book, and I was just like intrigued as soon as um one of the main characters, his name is Baz. As soon as he comes into the picture, I just could not look away from the book.
He's Draco Malfoy, but gayer, a vampire, and like not a brat. I think he's just
cooler than Draco Malfoy.
He's
point blank period.
Period.
But like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just remember, I feel like I like shoved the book into you, like, I was like, you need to read this. Harry Potter, but gayer. You need to read this.
Okay, let me. So I read it, and yeah, I personally, I never read a book so quickly. I haven't read a book so quickly in years. This thing took me 3 days to read.
And go ahead, sorry.
I like finished it at work, and I was like, wow, okay. Huh.
Meanwhile, on the side, I was listening to the audiobook.
Oh man, I am so excited for Wayward Son. I hope it is in Barnes and Noble. I need a good read for the immense amount of stress we're about to go through.
Oh hell yeah! I'm definitely gonna pre-order it. It's like $13 on Amazon.
Yeah, it's worth the money.
It's so worth it. For anyone out there that loves Harry Potter, wizards, vampires, queer novels, I recommend Carry On.
Yeah, it's such a good book.
Especially for people who ship like the whole rival thing, like
yes.
Naruto Sasuke, Keith and Lance, Bakudeku. Surprising. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. Aang and Zuko, because apparently that's a ship.
Oh wow, really?
Apparently it's not popular, but I fucking remember it. But anyone or God, from Free Iwatobi Swim Club, Rin and Haru.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Free, that was one of the biggest fandoms in my childhood.
Make us free.
Yeah, that wow, snatch my way. I still have to finish the 3rd season.
You say as I look at my Makoto plush that's hung up in my room, as well as my Rin plush.
God, I wish that were me.
Makoto and Sosuke are best boy. You can fight me on that.
Louder for the people on the back.
Makoto and Sosuke are best boy. Period.
That's the sound of me clapping.
I was like, what is she doing?
Get your minds out of the gutter, everybody.
Oh my god, no.
But yeah, yes. Anyway.
I'm gonna just say it. Sosuke is just edgier Makoto.
He is an edgier Makoto.
Tall, dark, and handsome. You know what I'm saying?
It's just the only difference is he doesn't do the backstroke. He does the butterfly. That's the only difference.
Yeah, but they're both beautiful.
Yes.
And I think also the other difference is Makoto has backstrokes for days.
Alright, that's the end of the podcast.
Oh my god. God, I'll never forget when I first saw that. I was just like, I've got backstroke for days. Because, I mean, honestly, mood.
It's a very traumatic set of words for me. The trauma that comes with those words.
Oh, man. But, yeah, no, Carry On. I think one of the things I love the most about the characters was mainly the way they hyped up Baz, man.
Exactly. In like the first, the thing is that with Carry On, it's like divided into certain, like, instead of it being like sections or part 1, part 2, they put it like book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, epilogue. I think that's how it went.
Yeah, it is like that, yeah.
Okay. So, like, in the entirety of book 1, which is, like, chapters 1 through probably 37? I don't remember. I'm just guessing. But, like, the entirety of book 1, they, like, hyped up this character because they're like, oh, hey, Baz is Simon's rival. Baz usually is here. Where is Baz?
Where they at, though?
And he wasn't there the entire time, and then you're just like, every single time that like Simon mentions Baz or somebody mentions Baz, I'm just like, who is Baz? He's on the cover. When is he coming into the story? He's killing me here.
You're
and then
killing me.
He opens the doors and he like
Cute X gonna give it to you. Play in the background.
Yeah, that's basically how book 2 starts and how book 1 ends.
Yeah. But I love it though, because I kid you not, like when I was listening to it, the audiobook, I actually just heard that's what you're hearing. Like X gonna give it to you, start playing as Baz limps. I'm not gonna tell you why into the dining hall. But it's just so funny because you see Baz, who like that's your rival. You know, you'd think he'd be like, oh, thank God he's out of my hair. No, not Baz, Simon is out here obsessing over the fact his rival is MIA. And Baz's friends don't care. Simon's best friend and girlfriend are like, bro, you need to chill. And everyone else is like, oh, Basilton. Yeah. Oh, so today's lesson, like they don't care. But also, I also love saying his full name, which is Tyrannus Basilton Grimpitch.
Why did his mother decide to name him that? I don't know.
I just love how the dad was like, no, we're gonna name him Basilton.
And then they were like, no, Beth.
Beth. Or I love that post on Twitter where it's like, I'm feeling tyrannically gay or something. And somebody was like, Baz posted this, didn't he?
Probably, yeah.
But, yeah, I highly recommend the book Carry On. All of you should read it. It is fantastic. It is, if it's something that if you're into, don't force yourself to read it if you're not into wizards, queer topics, etc. What are you doing, sis?
You're talking to the guinea pig?
I'm talking to you.
Me?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
I hear like crinkle crankle.
Oh, that's probably the water bottle.
I was like, girl, what is going on?
No, I have been up since 5 in the morning.
Felt.
6 in the morning, 6:30.
Jesus Christ. Well, we're almost done. And you know what? Let's just quickly jump on to headcanons real quick and how headcanons are actually the cutest thing.
Yes. Sometimes headcanons are kind of go crazy, go stupid.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they're a little too far because they want it to be bad, but headcanons are dope. I like headcanons.
For those of you who don't know, headcanons in a short explanation are ideas or things that people put onto or portray onto a character. An example is I can say a headcanon for I'm trying to think. I could say like a headcanon for oh my god, I'm trying to think of a good example for a good headcanon. Maybe like Wow.
Honestly, one of the biggest headcanons for like an example for a headcanon would be Kanji from Persona 4, because one of the main plot points of Kanji, like of his like boss battle, because in Persona 4 you have to face a darker version or more like a version of a person who like their true feelings come out. So for Kanji, he has always struggling with his sexuality, and like he it mostly stemmed from the fear of being rejected because he likes cute things. He likes sewing. He likes a lot of things that typically a girl would like.
We stand men who love cute things in this household.
Yes, most certainly.
Period.
And as soon as like Naoto comes into the picture, like any teenager, they start going, hold on a second, something's wrong with this picture.
Mm-hmm.
Something's up. Something is up. I don't know how to feel about that. But like the main headcanon that everyone puts Kanji in is that he's bisexual. So yeah, that could be like an example of that.
Yeah.
It's a long explanation, winded explanation, but like in terms of like headcanon, oh, I headcanon this person is this, I headcanon this person is that, or I headcanon this could possibly happen for this person.
Right.
Yeah,
and
headcanons are fun.
And also, another thing is like there was a headcanon that existed that I thought was actually kind of cute, where it was Peter Parker is trans, which I was like, that's actually really cute, and I could get behind that, honestly. But headcanons, like I was saying, are just things. Or you know what? Another thing is there are headcanons for people's original characters. For example, one of my characters, his name is Mikey Parker. That's my literal red child. I love him. And you can also say not only is it character traits, but it can also be voices. So there have been times where I've talked to Chloe and I've been like, oh, a headcanon for Mikey would be Lelouch from Code Geass, or the voice that Johnny Young Bosch uses for Vash Stampede from Trigun. I think this today I texted Chloe for a character that a friend and I both have named Nevin. He's like a very shy, gentle boy, and I'm like, God, what kind of headcanon would he have? So for those of you who don't know, and I recommend, y'all should check out Noel Miller on YouTube. And he did a whole series, or a whole thing of streams where he reacted to basically a Mormon version of The Bachelor. And there's a character, there's a person named Colin who is very soft-spoken. He kind of sounds like this.
He is the Bachelor.
Yeah, he's, by the by, he's the Bachelor. But he's like, this kind of sucks. And it's just funny the way he talks, but it's very sweet and it's cute. And I was like, Chloe, imagine this boy as my boy. She was just like, no! And I was like, but yes.
It would be funny.
It would be funny.
Yeah, like also reminded me of, I honestly really love when people can for like voice actors for characters. It's the cutest thing.
I think it was the funniest thing when I was doing the dark version of Nevin, and I was like, yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog, and then of course I found the infamous. Oh, you gotta say the line first. I can't say it until you say the line.
Wait, which line?
You know which line. Come on. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh boy. Wait. Oh my gosh. I'm blanking on the line, but it has something to do with Faker.
Yeah. Seriously?
I'm blanking on the line. I'm first part of the line. Oh my god.
It's I found you, Faker.
Oh wow. I am losing brain cells. I'm sorry, y'all. I found you, Faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog here. You're comparing yourself to me? Ha! You're not even a real... It's just... I was like dying because of the way Shadow goes, ha! In that whole line. Like, the voice acting for Shadow, I mean, it got better in Sonic Forces, I'm not gonna lie. But his first voice is very soft and gentle. And for the character I was developing, I was like, well, if this is an evil version, like a very evil, cruel version of a soft, gentle character, and this evil version is grumpy, bit of a drunk, and like kind of tired, but he's a little edgy. So I don't think I think the first voice for Shadow was too soft, but then the second voice, which was "Don't touch it," that, or what was the other one? It was like I can smash that or whatever.
Yeah, that was the third one.
I picked that one, and I was like, oh, this is my headcanon. This is my idea of what this character would sound like. So, headcanons are very interesting, and I support a lot of headcanons, because sometimes it's people reflecting themselves onto a character, which I
Yeah,
totally understand.
yeah. It's really nice. It's a really nice like very. It's also kind of similar to like just expressing your creativity in a way like fictional character stuff, not just like through fan art and everything. It's nice.
Yeah.
Here, it's wholesome.
Well, I think that will wrap us up for tonight. It is honestly, it's midnight. We're recording this pretty late. Um,
Yes.
but we want to get it out there for you guys, and we apologize for any weird audio glitches or whatever. It's our first time doing this, so
Yeah, well, honestly, we'll get better as we go. We're rookie podcasters in this space here. So,
you know what? Thank you for joining your two captains. I'm Captain Sumi and or Grizzly,
and I am Captain Chloe or the CC nerd.
and good night, everyone.
Good night.